Everyone who's played a Generation 1 Pokemon game has noticed how powerful the Psychic type is, and we all know that the Bug type in this game is useless? Too weak? Outclassed? I thought Bug type was supposed to be strong against Psychic type, right? But all the Bug types in this game are either part Poison type, too weak, or just don't learn any Bug type moves for some reason. But what if I told you that there was a Pokemon that everyone was overlooking? A Bug type Pokemon that can stand up to Alakazam of all things, and can devastate every Grass type Pokemon in the game thanks to the Generation 1 type chart. That Pokemon is Parasect. No, really. I think Parasect isn't that bad. In fact, in Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, Parasect is quite possibly the only Bug-type Pokemon in the game that's able to actually be a Bug-type attacker, and I'm going to explain why. So let's begin. Parasect is a Bug Grass-type Pokemon that has a fairly respectable base attack stat of 95. Its defense and special stats are nothing too crazy, but its base 30 speed stat is really where the problem is. It's slow. In fact, it's tied for the slowest fully evolved Pokemon in the game next to Snorlax, Lickitung, and Slowbro. But I think that some of the quirks about this Pokemon as well as the Generation 1 gameplay allow it to really shine and spice up your team. You know, if you're getting bored of using the safe options all the time. You see, in Generation 1 only, Poison and Bug types were actually super effective against each other. This was changed from Generation 2 onwards so that Poison resisted Bug type attacks, and Poison did neutral damage against Bug types. This is a Gen 1 difference that I personally have never seen anyone else talk about on the internet. People always bring up that Ghost doesn't affect Psychic in Gen 1, instead of being super effective, which is the case in every generation after. I'm not sure if people didn't realise this difference, or maybe I'm the only person who cares, but with this little piece of information floating around my mind, I realised that almost every Grass-type Pokemon in the game is actually Grass Poison type, meaning that Bug-type attacks are actually 4 times effective against them, although Poison-type attacks are also 4 times effective against Parasect. But that's what makes it fun. In fact, the only Grass-type Pokemon in the whole game that aren't part Poison-type are the Exeggutor line, which also happens to be 4 times weak to Bug-type attacks, Parasect itself, and Tangela, who is actually only used by a handful of trainers in the whole game. So now let's look at how to use Parasect in these games, and why I think it's a fun pick for your Generation 1 team. When I used Parasect while playing through Pokemon Red, I decided to completely ignore the Grass typing since Grass is a special type move, and I focused on making my Parasect as formidable of a physical attacker as I could, so that it could make up for going second with a powerful hit. So we have our Parasect, but what moves do we want? Well, since we're using Parasect as a Bug-type physical attacker, it's important to have a Bug-type move for the same type attack bonus. A concept in the Pokemon games where if a Pokemon uses a move that has the same type as itself, then the move's power is increased by 1.5 times. Now, Leech Life is the only Bug-type move that Parasect can learn in Generation 1. But don't go boxing this Pokemon just yet, because remember, it's got a decent physical attack stat. And also, Leech Life restores health back to the user, so you even get to heal some of the damage that you most likely took from going second. Parasect is also the only Pokemon in the game that can learn Spore, which is a sleep-inducing move that has 100% accuracy and 15 PP, which I think is quite a neat bonus for putting up with how slow it is. It also has access to strong physical attacking moves like Slash, Body Slam, and Dig, which, as a side note, in Generation 1 actually has 100 base power. And that's not all either. You can also teach it Swords Dance, and, well, yeah, that's about it. Move Array in Generation 1 really was bad, wasn't it? But you can see the point that I'm trying to make here, right? Let me list my points for you as a conclusion. In Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, Parasect using Leech Life is able to inflict stab 4 times super effective damage on every Grass type in the game other than Tangela and other members of the Parasect line. Although Parasect is slow, Leech Life is able to restore health back to the user, so you'll be restoring a fair amount of HP back if you're hitting for 4 times damage each time. Leech Life is also able to inflict normal super effective damage against Poison types and Psychic type Pokemon, and this all works in our favour considering that Parasect has a base attack stat of 95, and most Psychic type Pokemon in Generation 1 have low physical defense stats in order to balance out the Psychic type in general. For extra move variety, Parasect can also learn Dig and Slash, 2 moves that take advantage of the high physical attack stat, and on top of that, Parasect is the only Pokemon in the game that has access to Spore to put the opposing Pokemon to sleep with 100% accuracy. And if you've been watching the gameplay while this video's been playing, you've already seen my Parasect in action, and it's glorious. When I first decided to use a Paras, I honestly just thought that I would box it out of frustration, but I was pleasantly surprised and I just had to put my thoughts out there. maybe there's another Pokemon that I haven't used yet that's surprisingly good. And if you watching this video find yourself always using the same Pokemon over and over again, hopefully I've convinced you to give other Pokemon a go from time to time, and maybe they'll surprise you. And that's all from me. So, thanks for watching.